Hi, alongside my tribe, and welcome to the Modern Barbarian podcast. May your days be filled with victory, and your nights filled with cold drinks and warm companions. Today's episode is called To Find a Barbarian Woman, and in this episode, we will discuss what we modern barbarians are looking for in a life mate. What should you want in a companion for the rest of your life? And many of you probably already have your life mate chosen. You've already found your barbarian woman. You may appreciate this episode anyway, and I hope that you do. But for those of you that have not found her yet, maybe this conversation will help you to focus what you're looking for instead of dabbling around the local bar just hoping to get lucky. Maybe you can start to focus on what you can actually find in a true partner for your life. And for my female listeners, this applies equally well to you. These traits are universal, traits that all life partners should have. And if you're listening to this and you already have your barbarian woman in your life, take notes for yourself. Make sure that you're doing all of these things to care for the relationship that you've put so much time into. Make sure you're doing right and showing her or him how much you appreciate them. With that, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this episode. What are the attributes that we're looking for in our barbarian woman? Well, first, she must be strong. Strength is key in all things that we do, as everybody knows. But this is a different kind of strength. We're talking about a relationship strength, the strength of the bond. In order for them to have that, they need to be strong. They need to exhibit our core values. But there's a few other things that they need for a strong relationship to form. One is they need thick skin. Barbarians tend to be a little terse in conversation. We don't have time for bullshit, and we don't sugarcoat things. This can be difficult when speaking with somebody that you are in love with that loves you back, as they tend to put more weight on our words than they would those of somebody else. They tend to mean more to them when we say something. So they need to have a little bit of thick skin, because we're going to come across as a bit of an asshole sometimes. It's part of being a modern barbarian. They need to understand that, and they need to be able to deal with that. Another piece of this strong relationship is they need to be equally invested in the relationship and willing to do the hard things to make it work. So, a relationship is work. Everybody knows this. There is an immense amount of hard work that goes into spending the rest of your life with another human being. It's vitally important. It's natural to who we are. It's something we've always done, but it's difficult. It's not easy. And it's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would be able to do it. And there are people out there who can't. So what is this hard work that we need to do? Well, first off, you have to work on your own flaws. And they need to be able and willing to work on theirs. There's going to be parts of you that piss them right off. And there's going to be things that about them that piss you off. And you're going to need to be able to look past those things. You're going to need to learn to love those things and forgive them for the things they do that bother you. And they need to be able to do the same for you. They need to be invested in it enough that they're willing to overlook some flaws because they care that much about you. They need to understand that you're not going to change who you are as a person just to be in a relationship. That's not the point. But they also need to work with you to get better at being in the relationship with that person. So it's very complex, and a lot of you married guys, already know what I'm talking about. That this is not an easy game. The first several years of marriage can be quite difficult as everything settles in and you all find your place in the relationship, and that honeymoon phase ends and everything really starts to meld together into the core of your tribe. But being difficult is what makes it good. Again, nothing worth having has ever been achieved without hard work and sacrifice. And that goes equally well for finding your barbarian woman. So, what are some other traits that we would like to see in a strong barbarian woman who we would be willing to spend the rest of our lives with? For me, I prefer a life partner who contributes. I want a mate who helps support the tribe. Now, this doesn't always mean the same thing to different people, and I don't mean not monetary compensation. That is a form of support that they can help with, which I think that many should. I believe that women should have careers, and that each partner in a relationship should be doing everything they can to help build the wealth of the tribe, to maintain that financial freedom that we all need to be truly free. And doubling your income potential with two wage earners is something that your significant other can do that's a big boon to the tribe. It really helps out. But there are other ways to support the tribe besides just getting a job. There's the typical housewife role that we heard about all of our lives. You all know what I'm talking about: cooking, cleaning, taking care of kids, all that stuff. And yes, a housewife is a job. It's a difficult job. It's not easy. But it's not mandatory that be what they are. You shouldn't just be looking for a housewife. There's so much more to an equal relationship than the man goes off to work and there's dinner waiting on the table when he gets home. Like, there's way more to it. A tribe needs a great many things going on all the time that they should contribute and help out with. So let's take parenting, for example. If you choose to have a child with your significant other and grow the strength of your tribe, you'll have to raise as many children as you decide to have, 1, 2, 10, whatever it is. And there is a certain amount of work and a certain amount of responsibility that comes with that. And it shouldn't all fall to one partner. It should be equal parenting. The days that somebody needs to take off and go deal with the school should be, if you're both working, should be equally as much you as it is them. And they should be doing as much of it as you do. Now, if they've chosen to take the stay-at-home mom, housewife role, whatever you want to call it, then that's one of the things they can do to contribute to keep you from having to leave your job. Or if you're a stay-at-home and they are working, then that's something you can be doing, dealing with all of that stuff so that they don't have to leave work. But the dynamic of the relationship can be different so that both of you, if you're both working and it's an equal burden on both of you to take off work, you guys should be splitting that up, not just one of you dealing with it all the time because it's easier or because they don't like doing it. Something as simple as sharing responsibility for making dinner after work. If both of you have some food that you can make that the other one likes and you take turns so that it's not always some burden on one partner, but it's shared equally, you're both contributing. That's key to a good, strong relationship. That's how two barbarian life partners should treat each other. Think of it this way. A barbarian woman should be an equal partner, not arm candy. You're not just out there trying to find some pretty girl that you can show off to your friends. Like, look, I'm handsome enough or pretty enough or rich enough or whatever it is that I can score this a super beautiful, attractive person and show them off to all my friends. That's not what this is about. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a true life partner. A fellow barbarian to share in this adventure that is life together. To go through this together and add value to each other's lives. You should help carry the burdens of everyday life for each other. You should want to do that for them, and they should want to do it for you. That's what makes a solid tribe member. That's what makes, even more importantly, a solid life partner. Somebody that you can go through all the turmoil and trauma and everything that comes with life, the good, the bad, all of it, should be shared equally between the both of you. You should want to share it with them. That's a key component for knowing that you found the right one, is that you want to share that with them. What else are we looking for in a barbarian life partner? What is our other traits of our barbarian woman? Well, she must be supportive. By that I mean physically supports what you do. She should believe in what you do. So as you go through this journey that is life and you've chosen to follow this particular path, she needs to understand that. She needs to believe in it. She needs to not necessarily share the exact same ideals and values that you do, but something at least parallel to it, that she can understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and support you in doing it, believe in it. There needs to be enough overlap between what she believes and what you believe that they make sense together. That she can see the value in your belief and want to support it. Let's find an example here. Let's say that you've decided that you want to be more prepared in case there's a disaster. You see the stuff that's going on in the world today. You see the possibility of hard times on the horizon. And you've decided that you're going to take some steps to prepare for that. Your barbarian woman should support you in doing that. Even if she doesn't see the same disaster on the horizon, she should be supportive in the fact that you have done the research, that you've taken the time to learn it and see this particular viewpoint on it and support you in doing that. But she shouldn't be a yes man. She needs to help you process through what you think, what you've seen, help keep you even keel, and you should be doing the same for her. And that is another type of believing in what somebody does. Now, I'm not saying that they need to question everything. That's not supporting and believing. But there is the ability to temper what's going on. If you don't know what temper is, yeah, everybody knows what temper is. I don't need to patronize you. But they should be tempering your belief, your thought processes, and helping you make it more realistic. So, for me, right, when I started on this journey, my wife was with me, I decided that, all right, we need to start being more prepared for some things to come. And there was a crap load of ammo and some medical supplies and food, right, that we all needed. And everybody needed to have their essential gear and weapons and all this stuff. And I was ready to just, boom, do it all. And my thought was, okay, food can be pretty basic. Beans and rice will get us along for a long time. And we can supplement that with some other stuff. And she tempered that process back. Like, we can't eat beans and rice every day if there's a disaster. There needs to be some reality to this. So she helped me put together a rotation system of our pantry, if you will, where we buy the stuff that is long lasting that we like to eat already anyway, but we buy a lot more of it and we rotate it through so that there's reasonably a month's worth of food just in our pantry without any extra storage at any given time, just based on what we eat and the amount we buy of it and rotate through. And that gives us some stability that she could get behind, right? She didn't like going to the grocery store all the time. She didn't like running out of stuff all the time. She didn't necessarily at first believe that we needed to have enough food to survive 6 months or a year, 6 years, or whatever I was doing at the time. But she could see the value of a 30-day or 60-day supply of stuff that we like to eat anyway that wouldn't go bad. So as we started down that, she helped temper mine into something that worked for our tribe, that was more realistic. And over time, as we went through stuff together, we used that supply to get through power outages and ice storms and hurricanes and things that we've been through in different parts of the country that we've lived in. And she saw the value of what I was saying, where, this stuff can go on and last for a long time. Things can get really bad. So we should have maybe a little bit more than that, some more emergency reserve in case things are worse than we think they are. So we've melded the two systems together into this really nice big pantry with the rotation, the way she likes to do that side. And I went to the stuff that we're going to need beyond 30 days. The extra toilet paper, the extra medicines, the extra food, the long-term shelf-stable foods, the beans, the rices, the canned meats that'll last a long time, dehydrated stuff, all that stuff. Everything that we can store for a really long time, and ways to store it, sealed buckets, Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, all that stuff. We got into all that. I'll do an episode about some prepping stuff in the future if you want, but we were able to find commonality. We were able to believe in each other's viewpoint to come up with a system that provided for both of our needs and both of our beliefs. She's more worried about natural disaster stuff. I'm more worried about, this country turning into Venezuela and people having to eat each other in the streets and their dogs and shit trying to survive. And I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to have to get there, so I'm going to make sure that I have stuff handled. And she has slowly started to see the possibility of that come around as this country continues to shift further and further down the crapper. But I've also learned to appreciate her viewpoint and how practical it is, right? We're way more likely to have to deal with long-term power outages or natural disasters than we are, say, a tyrannical government stomping everybody down and trying to ration the food, at least for the next year or two. I think it's more likely that I'll see a major storm, but not the government go crazy in the next 2 years. I still believe that it's highly possible, but that's not the point of this episode. The point of this episode is this relationship with your barbarian life mate. So, all that to say, an anecdote. You gotta believe in each other. You gotta believe in what the other one does. And on top of that, you need to believe in who each other are. Right? So, you listening to this, deciding to follow this modern barbarian path, you need to have a conversation with her about what that means. And she needs to be supportive and believe in you and why you think this is important. That, you're going to spend some time working out. And that's time that you could be spending with her. But it's more important at that time to keep up your strength and your physical fitness and all that stuff so that you can be the protector of the family. She should be doing that. She should be taking care of herself, working out, eating right, so that she can support you if that ever goes that way. If things go south and the tribe has to break out and deal with some stuff and defend itself, you don't want your life partner to be a hindrance. You know, they need to be in the glad to have them column, not to have to protect them to keep them alive column. So they need to be sharing some beliefs about that, and then you guys should have conversations about it. Set it out as to why it's important, and make sure that you're on the same page. Make sure that you both understand the viewpoint of the other one. And again, much like the prepping example that I gave, there will be some middle ground for the two of you. There will be some commonality. They may not be as into it as you are, right? You may really like cool guns or cool knives and training with them and really knowing how to do it, or martial arts or weightlifting or whatever it is. You may really, really get into one of those, and that may not be the one that they really get into. You know, you may land on weightlifting and gunfighting, and they may land on distance running or hiking and martial arts, something like that. Both of those are valuable skills, though. That's things that you would be glad to have somebody in your tribe that is good at and knows how to do, that can help you be better at it. And that's that middle ground. They don't have to be just like you. They don't have to do exactly what you do, exactly the way you do it. But they should believe in the principle. You know, the basic principle of keep yourself in good shape so that you can do stuff if you need to. Or if she is already, or he has already let themselves get a little bit out of shape, they should be working on it. You know, they should understand that and do what it takes to correct it and work towards getting better. You, as their life partner, should be helping them with that. But you can't force it on them. That's that middle, not really middle ground, but understanding your partner, right? You can't just say, okay, you're going to lose weight because I said so, or you're going to start getting more physically fit because I said so, and expect that to work. You have to find somebody or get through to them as to why that's important. Show them the way. Lead by example. Make sure that they understand why you want them to be physically fit. Don't make them think that you want them to do all this hard work and eat less food or eat more food or whatever it is to go the direction they need, whether they're too skinny, too big, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That, you know, that there's a reason that I want you to be doing these things, and it's not because I don't find you attractive or, you know, I think you're too big, I think you're too small, any of that. You do it because you care, and that's what they need to know. They need to know that you want them to be able to survive hard times, that you want them to be ready to defend themselves if you are not there, or to care for the tribe if you are not there, to be self-sufficient enough to get on without you should the worst happen, God forbid, and that you're doing this out of love, not out of your own personal desire. It's really easy for them to think that, you know, especially if you're dealing with the fair sex, it seems, in my experience, women can be more emotionally tied to their appearance. So if you're saying, you know, hey, why don't you come do some hiking with me, or why don't we try to eat better, or whatever, they don't hear we should eat less shitty food. They hear, I think you're getting too big and I want to put you on a diet. So the way that you have that conversation can be critically important, because you have to share their values and their beliefs, and you have, not only that, but you have to have the empathy to understand their viewpoint and come at it in such a way that you're speaking their language. You have to use the terminology and the lexicon of their perspective to get through to them as to why you think it's important and why you want them to make that change. Whether, you go at it, for some women, they're strong on being together forever, right? So maybe you use I want to have more time on this earth with you, and I think the decisions you're making are shortening that. Can we work on that to extend your life and improve your quality of life in your older years? That may work. Or for some women, they're really strongly towards defending their children. And so maybe that's the route you go. That, if I can help you with this, if you want my help and you want to do it, I can help you feel stronger, be stronger, learn to defend yourself better, so that, God forbid, something should happen and I'm not there, you're capable of defending the little barbarians in the tribe and keeping bad things from happening to them. But it's all about understanding their point of view and believing in who they are so that you can understand their thought processes and come at this from an angle that makes sense to them. That said, you can't always be a yes man, and neither can they. Both people shouldn't be afraid to tell the other one they've made a mistake, that they're wrong. And that doesn't need to be a knockdown, drag out fight. That's another part of this supportive thing, is that conversations are important. Fights get you nowhere, right? So you both need to understand if the other one's getting a little too hot, a little too heated to get anywhere. You're like, hey, this isn't working. Let's back off and we'll discuss this again with cooler heads tomorrow or in a couple hours or whatever works for you guys. But you have to have the courage to tell them that they're making a mistake. And she should most definitely have the courage to tell you that you're making a mistake. That this train of thought is way overboard, or you're too far off in left field, or you haven't been working out the way you usually do. You've been sitting on your ass a little bit more. Or maybe you're drinking a little bit too much beer, or any of that stuff. They should be helping hold you accountable because they believe in who you are and they know how important it is to you. When you have those moments of weakness that you start to falter and fail, they should be there to support you. They should be there to point it out in a blunt but kind manner and says, hey, you ain't really keeping up your end of this bargain, or you're not doing the things that you like to do for yourself. Let's face it, anybody that works out a lot has had a period of time where they've looked at it like, man, I don't know that I really want to work out today. And they let themselves miss. And then, unless you're like some freak athlete or some shit like that, everybody's had those days. That's human. But sometimes they compound, right? 1 can lead to 2, can lead to 12. Kind of like drinking too much beer. I know a lot of us here that enjoy the consumption of alcohol have probably had one of those accidental drunks. Like, oh shit, I meant to drink 3 beers and I drank 30. Where did that come from? And you learn from those mistakes and you move on. It's the same process, right? You mean to take a day off. Your legs hurt really bad. It was squat day. No, I think I'm going to take a break and listen to my body, right? And that's normal. You got to do that. But don't let 1 day turn into 2 days, turn into 3 days, turn into 2 weeks. That's the stuff. And they should be there to help you with that. They should be there to say, hey, you're slipping a little bit, and I know this is important to you. I don't want you to lose that. Why don't you go get back in the gym? Why don't you go do your thing again? And you should be doing the same for them as well, Let's say, for instance, just an example, that your significant other has decided that they're going to cut back on their soda intake because they think that help them be healthier, and that it's a bad habit they've got. They drink, let's say for this imaginary scenario. Let's say they're drinking 6 Pepsis a day, right? And they've decided they need to cut back on that. It's bad for them. It's bad for their teeth. It's bad for everything. And you're like, all right, I'm going to help you with this. And you notice first week it's great. They don't go through a whole 6-pack that whole week maybe. But then the next week they're back to one a day. And then, okay, one a day, we can do that. Then the next week it's 2 or 3 a day. You're like, hey, wait a minute. You said you were trying to do this because it's something you wanted to do. I'm here to help you with that, and you're slipping again. Let's reel that back in. And again, knowing who they are and how they speak and their lexicon, if you will, you need to speak their language. That's important, learning to speak their language. You have to come at that from their angle. Like, hey, you decided you wanted to do this and you asked for my help, so let's cut back on that if you can, whatever it is, however you need to talk to them. You know your significant others more than I do. And if you don't have one yet, keep this stuff in the back of your mind, things to look for. You don't want a woman who's a yes man. You don't want her to just be like, everything you do is awesome, and then you change some major key component about who you are, and they're like, yay, you don't go to the gym anymore, and that's awesome. Like, no. You need a woman that will help keep you accountable. You need somebody there who lives with you all the time. Be like, get with it, man. Get with it. So, look for that. Provide that to your significant other if you already have one. Look for that in your upcoming significant other if you're on the search for one. And now we get down to the most important aspects. The biggest thing that you should be looking for in your barbarian woman is someone that adds value to your life. And there's several ways that happens. And one big elephant in the room that I haven't broached yet is obviously there has to be physical attraction to your life partner. You can't have found the perfect person but be completely unphysically attracted to them and expect that to just work. Human brains are weird, and we form physical attractions to things that don't always make sense to other humans. And that's okay. It doesn't have to make sense to them. It only has to make sense to us. But that chemistry has to be there. It's vital to a relationship that there be that connection, that there be that level of intimacy that only comes from two people who are physically attracted to the other one. But even more than that, there should be physical attraction, mental attraction, and emotional attraction. You need to appreciate them for their mind as well. That's important. They need to be somebody that shares our values, at least closely enough. They don't have to say it the same way. They don't have to use the same words for it. But their values need to align with ours closely enough that it's not going to be a sore spot in the relationship the whole time, and that they're not going to pull us off course. So they need to make our lives better. For us as a study of this, how do we do that for our significant other? And by studying that, what are we looking for in them if you're finding one? So what can they do to make your life better, and what can you do to make their life better? And this is a big one because it's such a broad topic. There's so many ways to do it. But it should be a person that just being around makes you feel happier. Not necessarily that, you can step into their present and the world is all sunshine and rainbows and yay, unicorns and shit, right? That's not what I'm talking about. But let's take the bad mood scale, right? Let's create that, if you will, and say that a real bad day is, a solid 7 bad mood, 10 being the worst mood on the planet. Well, you walk into the presence of this person that you've chosen to have in your life, and they take you from a 7 to a 6, or a 7 to a 5. But that's making your life better. Instantaneously, just being around them makes you feel a little bit better. It may not fix a bad mood, but it makes it not quite as bad. And that's powerful. The ability to make you feel just a little bit better, to make you more comfortable, that's important. Another thing for making your life better is similar physical, I guess, phenomena, if you will, is the feeling of comfort in the presence of other people in your life. So, certain people, especially people that we've chosen for mates, should have the ability to just make us feel more comfortable by being around them. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say the days that you're really into, checking out what's going on in the world around you. The Empire of Nothing has really got you worried, right? You see the political turmoil, the backroom dealing, the selling out, the people just out for themselves and no longer being public servants, all the nastiness and swampiness that is the political system here in America nowadays. And it's really like you're just uncomfortable feeling. You think the world's going to end, and you don't know if you've got it ready enough to survive it when it happens, and it's all coming down. It's all coming down today, and your brain starts to spiral, right? And everything, I guess it would be anxiety would be the right word. Things start to build. You're worried about it. You don't know if you're ready. You don't know if you can do it, if you can handle it. And boom, here's this person. And one, just being around them makes you feel better. We already discussed that. But here's a soundboard for you. Somebody you can go talk to help walk you back off of that edge, that cliff that you're staring down, seeing the whole world in. And they can be like, wait. It's not quite there yet. We're going to wake up tomorrow. Maybe everything's not fine, but you're not going to be dead. We're not going to be dead. We still got time to work. And let's do this and let's work on it together. And they make you more comfortable. They make you feel better. And that's important. That makes a hard day better. That brings comfort to your life. And that's critical. So look for a woman who can provide that to you. Or if you're a woman, look for a man. And if you're already in a relationship, make sure you're providing that for them. If they've had a hard day at work, let them vent about it, And be invested. Enjoy that conversation. That's somebody who you care about, taking the time to talk to you about what's going on in their life to bring you guys closer so that you can have those good relationships. That's important. Make sure you're giving them that. All right, hate to do it, but we've got to put this stupid commercial break in here somewhere. So I've got a few more points I want to go over about this that I think are really important, and we're going to do that in just a few right after this commercial break. All right, we're back from commercial break. We got a few more points of what we're talking about today. The barbarian woman in your life. What are you looking for? If you don't have one, and a study of a relationship and what you can do to make yours better as a way to look for the others that don't already have a life mate to go find one, right? So the last couple points here, let's get into these because these are the big ones. These are the things that I've learned in my almost 2 decades of being married that I think could help you guys out. So, you need a woman that appreciates what you do for her. So, when I say that, I don't mean that they fawn over everything that you do like it's the greatest thing in the world. Don't think like that. But they do need to be appreciative. Sometimes just a small thank you is enough. But taking the time to say that thank you Not a lot of people think about that. That they take things for granted. They expect the yard to get mowed, and they don't take the time to say thank you. Or they expect their cars to be fixed and their oil to be changed, and that's just the way it is. That's your job. Why? But a woman who will stop and say thank you can make all the difference in the world. They can really make you feel good about all this work you're putting in to try and make her life better. So, taking that as a case study, we should be doing that for them. We should be making sure that we appreciate what they do for us, whatever it be. You know, say for instance that your division of household chores, if you will, is that your significant other is the one that does the laundry. They get it folded and put away. So, you've got the magic hamper, if you will. You put the dirty clothes in there, and in a couple days they wind up back in your dresser, clean and folded. I've got one of those magic hampers. It's pretty nice. But I know that it's not actually a magic hamper. I know that my barbarian woman takes the time to do the laundry and how much work that is. And then she is very meticulous about the way she puts clothes away. She won't even let me do it. She's like, nope, you don't fold it right. You don't put it away right. Just get the hell out of the way. And I'm cool with that. But I make sure that I take the time to say thank you for it. And that I'm not sitting on my ass watching TV while she's over there doing laundry. She's got something she needed done. I'll go do that while she's doing that. Or at some point during that day, usually before. Doing the things that maybe that's not one of their skills. Maybe you're really handy. Maybe you're good at fixing things and they're not. But they're really good at the laundry and you're friggin' not, right? Me and laundry is a nightmare. I make clean clothes, but half of them will be pink or purple when they're not supposed to be. So I'll go fix something. Put a new sprayer on the sink, or change the oil in the car, or pressure wash the house, whatever it is. Something that she wanted done that she may not have had the skill or the drive to do, but she wanted to make sure that she put in that effort so that I had clean clothes to wear. So I'm going to do something for her, and I'm going to take the time to physically say thank you. Hey, I appreciate that you do this for me. It makes my life better that you're here and doing these things for me, and I love you and thank you, right? And it's amazing how many people don't do that. They don't think about it, right? I love you and a quick kiss on the way out the door every day. That way, no matter how bad something could have got, the last thing you told them was, I love you, and you gave them a kiss. That's what you want them to remember. That's taking the time to appreciate them. Heaven forbid, you're on your way to work and you have a car wreck and die, right? If you had an altercation with them last night and you didn't take the time to say, hey, I love you, and give them a kiss this morning, the last memory they're going to have of you is that fight. But if every time you're going to separate from them for some reason, I don't mean terminate the relationship, but be away from them. You're going to the store, you're going to work, going to a friend's house, whatever it is. Take that time to appreciate them and say how you feel about them and kiss them goodbye, hug them goodbye, whatever your thing is that they enjoy. Take the time to do that, right? So that in the worst case, at least you leave them with one good memory should something happen. The last thing that they remember isn't some fight or some harsh words you guys had for each other, but that you took the time to say I love you and I appreciate you. Something else to be looking for and to be doing yourself is somebody who will do the little things. So for me, my wife really likes flowers. So I like to just randomly send her flowers for no damn reason. Not because it's a special holiday or not because I want something or anything like that, but just, hey, I appreciate you, and here is your favorite flowers. Speaking of favorite flowers, learn what they are. Some women like roses, Some women hate them. Some women like lilies or daffodils or tulips or whatever they are. Take the time to learn what your girl likes and make sure that you're sending her the stuff that is for her, the stuff that she wants to have, not the dozen long stem roses because all girls like roses thing. That shit gets old. Do something different. Do something that shows that you pay attention when they talk and tell you things and learn. And if you don't know, just ask her. Talk about it. And she won't think much about it until next week on a Thursday, for no damn reason, she gets some flowers that she really likes that aren't the, you know, 1-800 flowers, fields of love, 37 roses in a vase or whatever that everybody gets. Get her the stuff that she really likes. Call a local florist and tell them the types of flowers that you want in it. It's no more expensive. You don't have to spend $100 to do it. You can put something together real nice for $30, especially with a local florist, and they'll drop it off. It doesn't have to be huge over the top. Just do something like that. Do the little things, right? Or maybe your significant other doesn't like flowers. Maybe, you're the female in the relationship and sending your dude flowers, not really a thing, right? So the same process applies. Maybe your dude likes PMags. Well, I know I like PMags. I can think most dudes who run ARs, they probably like PMags, right? So instead of a bunch of flowers, you could be kind of creative with it and make a vase with a bunch of PMags on sticks, so it's like getting flowers, but it's PMags. Like that would be cool. Stuff like that. That's a little thing. It's not. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. PMags are $10. Get a couple of them, stick them on a stick in a vase. It's funny, haha. It's like getting a dude flowers, but it's PMags. It's something he wants. That's showing that you appreciate your significant other. That's adding value to their life, making their life better. Doing the things that matter, that show you care, that show you pay attention. And you should be looking for that in a person too. Those are the signs that you found the one that you want to be with when they do those meaningful things. And then maybe some bigger meaningful things, right? Let's say it's the big holidays, anniversaries, birthdays, Christmases, right? My wife did one for me last year for my birthday. Did a big thing, and she started on the first day of the month. My birthday is in the first week of the month, so it's real early. It's on the 6th. But I got a present every day until my birthday, and then the big present on my birthday. So it was like this whole week long celebration of my birthday. Nothing over the top, didn't spend a whole bunch of money, but she got cool presents that I liked. Stuff that I'll use, a tool or a gun part, or a cool patch for my truck, or stuff like that. Stuff that wasn't crazy expensive but was really cool and that I appreciated having. And I got one of those every day for a week basically, and then I got my big present on my birthday. And well, my big present was that she did that, but I got a bigger present on my birthday, and it was a lot of fun. And that's one of the bigger things. Do that kind of stuff for them if you're listening. You got a significant other. You're welcome to steal that idea. It's pretty cool, I think. But, whatever they're into. And guys, I know they say, a lot of women will say this, but I'm telling you right now, don't ever buy vacuum cleaners or appliances as Christmas gifts. If they need a new dryer, just get them a new dryer. If the house needs a new vacuum, get a new vacuum. That's just as much yours as it is hers. Do not skimp out on a major holiday and a chance to do something nice for your wife by buying a damned appliance. Don't do it. Do not do it. I don't care how much they say they want it. Buy it not on a holiday. Holidays are for meaningful things, not for stuff the house needs anyway. Moving on. The other things that you can do while we're on this topic. One is like be available, I guess is the right word. No. I mean, being available is important. If they need to talk to you, be there, all that stuff. But that's not the way. It's not the one I'm trying to say. Pay attention to their needs and try to predict ways to make them feel better. So, if you, what I mean, like an example, I think maybe the best way to do this. If you notice your girl's really stressed out, tense, give her a shoulder rub. Or if they like foot massages, do a foot massage. Do something to read what's going on there and be a cure for what's going on. If they're stressed out, do something you know helps relax them. If there's some big chore on their list that's got them really stressed out and they just don't have the drive today and you got it, just go do the thing, right? You see them walk in the door and the sink's all full of dishes and you just see that look on her face like, fuck me, look at all these dishes, I don't want to do this. Notice that and just go do the damn dishes, right? You put most of them there anyway, let's be honest, so just go wash the damn things. Take some of that load off her. I'm not saying you do dishes all the time. It should be equally shared. But when you really see that, man, I don't want to do this today, you go do it. Make her feel better. Make her life better. Those types of things can really make a relationship go a long way. And the last one, I'm going to try to be very delicate about this because I don't want to get, what's the right word? I don't want to get graphic. But make sure you keep the relationship exciting. It's one of the key things that makes it a relationship and not a friendship is the physical attractiveness that you have to each other. We all know what I'm talking about here. So do the stuff that excites them. Don't just worry about what you like. If they like a certain thing in the bedroom, make sure you're doing it for them. Make sure you're taking the time. Nobody sees it but the two of you guys anyway, so it doesn't matter. They're never going to tell anybody, so if you've got some kind of weird shame about it, get the hell over it. Do the thing for them that they like. And it will be reciprocated. They will do the things for you that you like. That's how this works. Two-way street, right? But you got to keep some excitement there. You got to keep it from getting stale. Because a stale love life is a boring love life. Don't let it go there. You take on that responsibility. Maybe they don't understand that. Or they feel it and they don't know what to do about it. Just take the lead. You took the initiative to come listen to this and want to learn my opinion about what a relationship should be, what we're looking for in a barbarian woman, all these things. So let me tell you right now, the best piece of advice I can give you as far as a long-term relationship is don't let it get stale. Make sure you're taking the time to do things that excite them and that they wouldn't expect, right? That whatever their fantasy is or whatever, don't tell them you're going to do it. Just do it for them. Just know what it is, have paid attention and learned, and just do the damn thing. Quit worrying about it and just do it. Promise you, it will be worth it. Getting off that topic though, the last thing I want to tell you, this will be the very last point about the relationships and the looking for a barbarian woman. Something you're looking for and something you should be for your life mate if you're already in a relationship is somebody that makes you want to be better. You should want to better yourself for this person. You should care that deeply about them that you know that they deserve better than you, but you're going to do your damnedest to give them the absolute best version of you that you can. So take good care of yourself. Be around for as long as you can. Be in good shape. Look physically attractive. Be smart. Be well read. Be brave. Be the barbarian that they fell in love with. Be the absolute best version of yourself. Not only for you, not only because it's important to you, but because this person who has dedicated their life to yours and who you've dedicated your life to deserves it. That'll get you through some hard days. Those days you're like, man, I really don't want to put this bar on my back and do another damn set of squats. These things are heavy. Remember that it's not just about you. That you want to be better because they deserve the best version of you. They deserve a strong partner who can help defend them, who can help keep things going. They deserve that. So, be that for them. Give that to them. Make sure you have a partner that makes you want to be the best version of you that you can be. And with that, we're going to call this episode to a close. So, let's do this little bit of maintenance here at the end. If you're listening to this and you appreciated this episode, like it, subscribe, however it works here on the old podcast world. Make sure you're getting the notifications so you can listen to the next one. Leave a comment or a review. Share it with some friends. See if we can't help this thing grow. It's doing pretty good, you know. I'm getting a lot more interest than I thought I was going to get. I honestly thought I'd have like 1 or 2 people that would ever listen to this, and it was mostly a place for me to organize my thoughts and record them for posterity. But it turns out that some people actually like this. Who knew? Who thought that anybody would want to listen to this asshole rant for an hour at a time? But here you all are still enjoying it, so I'll keep doing it. But that said, like I said, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, do all that stuff so that this thing can continue to grow and I can keep getting better equipment with the money that I'm not making on this. Not a damn dime. But I'm not doing it for the money. But if any money ever comes, I promise I'll put it right back into learning to be better at this so the show gets better. And then if you're interested in social media, I've put it out there before. I've got a Parler, I've got a Wimkin, I've got a MeWe, and I've got Telegram. Telegram's my favorite. If you're interested in actually being able to chat one-on-one or, whatever it is with a group, I have a Telegram that's a really cool way to do that. You can ask questions direct. You can give episode ideas or comments, critiques, criticisms, whatever it is. And that's something else too. I know I always have said this before, but if you see something about this, like say you've liked previous episodes, but you're getting episodes you don't like lately or whatever it is, tell me that too. Not every comment needs to be a good comment. Don't be a yes man. If you got something out there that's not right, you want more of or less of or whatever, take the time to say it. And I'll learn and adjust to what my audience wants. Somewhat. I mean, still my show. Still going to be what my show is about. But I know how to take criticism. And I will learn from it. So, find me on any of the social medias that I got. I don't do the mainstream stuff. They're not my kind of people, and I won't help support the enemy. So, find me on the stuff that I'm on if you're interested. And thanks for listening. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know I enjoy making them. It's really been a fun time. I'm going to keep doing it. So, have a good night, and I'll see you next time.